Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Stomp the Idiot. I am the idiot, aka the huge one, Dave Koco from DAVEKOCO.com, and I'm not alone. When you are an idiot, you need as many people around you to carry you, and my masked partner of the Idiot Express, Boom Boom. Boom Boom, welcome back to KocoSports. Welcome back to Stump the Idiot.
Thank you. It's good to be here. There's a reason why there's two of us here, because if Dave can do a half-assed job and I can do a half-assed job, together we can probably crank out a podcast.
Exactly. All right, Stump the Idiot from Golden Star Alex. He's left us.
Oh, I like Golden Star. He's awesome.
All right. Golden Star literally is like part of the team now as far as Stump the Idiot goes. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't even have this. Back in the day, we had like 50 questions. Bring in your questions, guys. We do have a one question for YouTube coming up, though. All right, Stump the Idiot and Boom Boom. What? Am I the only idiot here? He's like the fucking idiot and Boom Boom. If you could stop only one of these wrestlers from going to WWE, which would it be? KENTA, Prince Devitt, or Nakamura? We can all agree that all three of them made the biggest mistakes of their life. Not financially. Oh, money's so important. I rub dollar bills on my titties. Ooh. Not financially, but soul, honor. Your inside, your Jiminy Cricket, your conscience, your legacy, stuff money can't buy. Because someone's in the comments and be like, well, they made that to me. They made that to me. You're the same assholes that are going to complain about your job. Anyway, this is a tough call. It really is a tough call. If you want Boom Boom, I'll go first.
No, please, go ahead.
It's definitely KENTA. Prince Devitt and Nakamura.
Really?
This is why. Hear me out. Prince Devitt and Nakamura killed their own souls. They retired. They are soulless human beings. They have no heart. They have no determination, but they have a bag of money. At least they got to be soulless piece of shit entertainers. KENTA got none of that. He lost his soul. He lost his talent. He lost everything. And he just didn't hurt himself. He hurt Pro Wrestling Noah. He literally helped carry Pro Wrestling Noah. And listen, let's go back in time. Back in time. There was tears in my eyes. That's all I remember. And the Noah fucking arena, wherever they were that night, was packed to the brim. And were they booing? Were they saying, fuck you, sellout bitch like me? No. They had tears in their eyes, and one sound summed it up. If it's your dream, it's our dream. And the people of Noah supported him. The people of Noah said, no, if this is what you want to do, thank you for saving Pro Wrestling Noah. And any motherfucking Japanese journalist, I'm using quote marks on a fucking audio podcast, journalist fucking says that he didn't fucking carry Noah when it at its lowest time. He literally had the Matrix from Transformers 1986. He was Hot Rodimus. He carried that fucking organization. That organization almost went fucking bankrupt. He carried it on his fucking back. He gave his soul, his determination, and I think that's why the people of Noah were okay with it. They didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but they thanked him. They gave him flowers. There was tears in her eyes. Nakamura, he just fucking left. Said, peace. Prince Devitt just fucking left. And not only that, but at least Prince Devitt and Nakamura, they lost their fucking souls. At least they got to be on the big stage. What did KENTA get to do? He got to be hurt in a parking lot? I'm pretty sure that's the highlight of his NXT career. What's his highlight of his NXT career? And now he came back. This might be an unpopular opinion. That's not the real KENTA. He could say, oh, I'm KENTA. I'm not fucking Naomi, whatever his WWE NXT name was. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. He's not even himself. Vince McMahon took this warrior's soul. He made him into a puppy. A little fucking puppy. It's definitely KENTA. Boom, boom. Hot tag to you. Who do you think got it the worst?
Well, first of all,
go ahead, sir.
First of all, Golden Star, thank you for the question. That's actually a really good question. And those are three really good picks. And I'm kind of glad Dave said what he said because I can say something different and kind of mix things up here. But when I heard the question, looking at all three, I'm going to go with Prince Devitt. Now Finn Balor is because the reason I'm picking him is not because the other two are worse or something. I was just thinking like if I could only keep one, I feel like the one who had the most upside, most potential going forward was going to be Devitt or Balor, whatever you want to call him now. Is because okay, Nakamura. The reason I wouldn't pick him is because I honestly feel like with Nakamura, what more was he supposed to do in New Japan? I mean, he was head of Chaos. He had won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship a couple of times, so maybe he could have got maybe one more run. I mean, he did some. I mean, he did some good stuff. He carried him through Nokiism, and the Super Rookie. I mean, and then he went on finally was able to go on excursion, come back. You know, he did this larger than life character. But I think he had done about everything that he could possibly do, and I'm trying not to be insulting when I say this, but I felt like he went to WWE because he needed a break. There was no way at his age he was going to keep wrestling New Japan style at that high of a level and be able to hold up. You know, when you go, but so he crossed the pond, went to WWE. He's able to, you know, not wrestle at that high of a level. He can surf. He can do all. He's actually enjoying himself. So that's why I didn't pick him. The reason I wouldn't pick Kenta is, I think he'd done about everything he could do in Noah. And as bad as you know what? And his bad wasn't necessarily run. Wasn't necessarily his run wasn't necessarily bad. Excuse me. Let's pretend I can talk tonight. It was just he was marred with bad luck. You know, he was like on this verge of like a storyline here. I think they were going to position him to, if he wasn't going to win the NXT championship, he was at least going to be in the hunt for it. And he got hurt. Took that shoulder injury, got surgery, didn't work, had to go get a second surgery, was out even longer, came back. It was just kind of like, okay, he had cooled off by then, so they sent him, so they did the worst thing they could do to him, is they sent him to 205 Live. But it does have a happy ending because he went to New Japan. I mean, that was a big deal when he walked out there with Katsuyori Shibata. And he said, okay, I want to be in the G1. And people were like, oh, wow. And then they did a pretty good heel turn with him. I still love the fact that, you know, Shibata actually went out there and got some few kicks in and really sold that angle there. He's been part of Bullet Club now. You know, he's part of the Forbidden Door with AEW. I think he's doing some pretty good work. So I think with him, I mean, things were kind of rough for him here in the U.S., but it ultimately had a happy ending. Now, the reason I would pick Prince Devitt / Finn Balor is because I felt like with Balor, there was a lot more stuff that could have been done. I mean, remember at this time he was leader of the Bullet Club, and this was in the early stages when they were really like starting up. They were firing up here. They were really starting to get popular. And you know, remember, but he left only 10 months after the Bullet Club started. So he could have done that. And plus, he was getting ready to move up weight classes because he was coming out of the junior heavyweight. He was going to come out of the junior heavyweight division and going to go up to the heavyweight. I mean, they could have easily worked him in with a never open weight championship, could have put him in line with the Intercontinental Championship, and then even the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I mean, he had so much more he could have done. I mean, he, you know, moving up from Best of Super Juniors, he could have, you know, won the New Japan Cup. He could have won the G1. He could have, I mean, there's just a lot of things he could have done. So I'm thinking if we keep him from going to WWE, a lot of that stuff happens.
Yeah, and I just want to add something. Nakamura, the only thing that, you know, the only sad part about Nakamura going to WWE is that he was on top. He was more popular than Chaos. He was more popular than LIJ at the time. He was more popular than Bullet Club. He was crazy over. People loved him. People outside of the pro wrestling fan base in Japan loved him. He was spreading out, you know. There are very few wrestlers in Japan spread out to be, especially recently since Chono Muda, but have spread out past just wrestling fans, and he was doing that. My daughter, my students, they don't watch pro wrestling, but they love Nakamura, so he was crazy over. I think just the joke that everyone says, and it's funny because my North American friends, or Western fans, whatever, outside of Japan friends say the same thing what Japanese friends say, and usually they have two different sets of humors. But they all joke that just leave Nakamura alone. He retired. Like they don't consider his WWE like wrestling anymore. They're just like, leave Nakamura alone. He retired. And with Devitt, I just want to add, Brock Lesnar did a lot of damage, and Devitt was like that gaijin that turned that damage around. And, a lot of people don't remember this, but when AJ Styles won the title, everyone was saying that was Prince Devitt's title. So it's kind of a different situation. So, if I could, I'd stop all three from going. But you would stop Prince Devitt, I would stop Kenta and Nakamura. Poor Nakamura. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. There are WWE fans out there. They think the product's the best. But for the rest of the world, our favorite guys going to your company just makes us sad. Where your favorite guys coming to our company doesn't. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's styles of pro wrestling, I guess. But yeah, I saw Nakamura AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom live. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And then I watched it on pay-per-view on WrestleMania. And I knew. That match broke me. Because going into that match, I was like, well, if WWE had real athletes and real wrestlers, not just bodybuilders, it would be different. If they had two great athletes go at it, it would be different. Man, it will be different. It will be different in the future. And that match, I was like, this product in my lifetime will never be something I like. And I hope I'm wrong, but there comes a point where, I grew up on NWA, WCW, ECW. I've always liked the alternatives. I never liked WWF. I never liked WWE, but it was a monopoly, and I always hoped for it to change. And I always had the tiniest bit of hope. When John Cena leaves, when this happens, it'll be great. When AJ Styles fought Nakamura in a fucking tickle my balls match at WrestleMania, I was like, this product will never be for me. And hopefully I'm wrong. A lot of WWE fans out there are like, this is the greatest. And trust me, it would benefit the channel if we actually liked WWE. It would. Boom, boom. Let's shoot. It would benefit this channel beyond belief that we like WWE. But unlike Nakamura, Devitt, and Kenta, we are not selling out for fucking pennies. You douches. Check me out on twitch.tv/KocoSports, DaveKoco.com. I'm a novelist and do a bunch of other stuff over there. And me and Boom Boom are going to try our best to rebuild this channel. If they can rebuild the IWGP title, they can rebuild it. By the way, that was one of our first videos in a while that got a lot of views, Boom Boom. Quick, what's your thoughts on IWGP title? Even though Stumped Idiots are kind of timeless and this will seem weird later in the future. Boom Boom, for the person that watches this 10 years later, what's your thoughts? What's your first thoughts on the new IWGP title by Ibushi?
I looked at it and said, looks like they repurposed the Divas belt.
All right, and if we get enough comments on that video, we'll probably do a comment time later this week. All right, like, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends. The Idiot Express is back. With that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.